Welcome into New Orleans Saints Now. I'm your host, Trace Gerard. We have a very jam-packed show to get to today. But before we do, I want to get a quick reminder for everyone in the Who Dat Nation to go ahead, lock us in, subscribe for Saints news, rumors, updates, roster news, injury updates, all sorts of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun, 365 days a year. Go ahead, hit the red subscribe button to lock us in today. Welcome into today's show, and like I said, I'm your host, Trace Gerard, and today we're going to start things off with an Alvin Kamara legal update. Now, as we all know, Alvin Kamara did have some issues during the Pro Bowl this past season in Las Vegas. He got into a little bit of a scuffle, got into a fight, got arrested, had some issues, and then today, he had his most recent court date, and the case was about the case in Las Vegas, and it went pretty on par with the rest of them. I mean, none of the defendants were in court today. Nobody really was there to, Alvin Kamara wasn't there. None of the players, none of the affected guys or any of the victims of the issue were there. But this is kind of news here. This notable information. The next court date is going to be January 23rd, 2023. The trial date will be March 1st, 2023, which means the NFL, and this is important because the NFL legal system is going to run its course before it takes disciplinary action, which means there's not going to be a suspension for Alvin Kamara likely until next season, if there is a suspension at all. And this is kind of a big deal in terms of what can Alvin Kamara do for the team? What does he do? What exactly value-wise does he bring outside of just he's Alvin Kamara and he's a great football player? I mean, the guy is 104 carries this season, 36 receptions, 443 yards on the ground, 319 in the air, 3 total touchdowns. I mean, if you ask me, guys, I think that the Saints need to add another running back this offseason. If it's one of those things where you look at the depth chart, it's pretty broken down. It's hard to get a lot of work outside of Mark Ingram, who right now is banged up. You have Jordan Howard on the practice squad. He got brought up this past week, didn't do much. Dwayne Washington, not doing a ton. We're going to get more into the depth chart later in today's show. But in order to lock us in, turn on your notifications, subscribe, like I said, off the top of the show. I want to make sure everyone doesn't miss any of our updates. We're going to keep you updated on Alvin Kamara as information comes in. We're going to hit the community tab. You can get videos. We're going to have it all taken care of for you or have it all squared away. So just be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a thing. Set them to all, by the way. That's a big key. That way you get every notification we have. But I want to ask you all this. Name a running back that you guys want the Saints to add this season. Free agency, trade, draft. There's a couple notable names. There's a couple of appealing names that are going to be free agents this year. I'm really looking forward to some of the names that are going to come out of the draft. I'm a big NFL draft guy. I love what the draft can do for teams. I'm also not high on paying running backs long-term big money. But let me know. Who's a running back that you want the Saints to add this offseason? Now, next thing is we have a roster update. So we have to break this down for you. Running back Derrick Gore was signed to the active roster. He's completely skipped out on the practice squad signing. He just went straight to the active roster. This came after Antonio Williams and Jaquan Hardy worked out with the Saints as well. And then the Saints also went ahead and waived Wyatt Davis, Jake Funk, and Brett Hundley. And Brett Hundley, notable thing, he was brought in during the week of practice before the Ravens game to help prepare the defense for Lamar Jackson. He has a very similar play style. He's quick. He played for the Ravens. So that's really the notable thing around that. Interesting roster news. Had to give you guys the roster update. But let's break down Derrick Gore. The former Louisiana-Monroe running back. Not terrible. He's kind of had a weird upbringing. He's had a weird process in getting to get snaps in the NFL. Eventually he was off and on rosters, off and on practice squads. Finally broke the field. Finally got to see some action last season. 51 carries, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and had some pretty solid things on receiving. 8 receptions, 105 yards. So the depth chart right now is as follows. You have Alvin Kamara as your running back 1. Mark Ingram, who is injured and is expected to miss several weeks right now. He has not been placed on IR, but he is expected to miss multiple weeks. Dwayne Washington is your running back 3, and you got Derrick Gore, your running back 4, and Holtz is your fullback. You don't have to have a massive room on the running back room. You just have to have a couple big playmakers, but I think that's a good move in terms of the depth piece. But also in terms of free agency news, the Raiders released Johnathan Abram. And if you guys remember a little bit ago, a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago, I remember speaking about Johnathan Abram as a potential trade target, as somebody you might be able to get very cheap on a very cheap trade. But now he's available as a free agent. Now he's available to get signed. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say Johnathan Abram is some incredibly talented guy, an incredibly amazing guy. I mean, he was a first-round pick, but it's like death, taxes, and missing on first-round picks is what the Raiders are. It's hilarious. It's just not going to happen. So, I mean, with Paulson and Debo's playing all right, Alontae Taylor's just been blowing it up. He's been doing phenomenal. I don't know if you necessarily need Johnathan Abram, and I'm going to say if he's not playing well on a bad team, he's probably not going to. I just don't see him doing all that great. But I want to ask y'all this because this show's not about me. It's about the Who Dat Nation. I want to ask y'all this. Should the Saints sign Johnathan Abram? Type S for sign, type P for pass. Let me know down in the comment section. And while you're down there, you guys can check out the link that we have right here. It's establishedtitles.com/chat. It's our new presenting sponsor here. It's our brand new sponsor at Chat Sports. And let me tell you a little bit about them. They are amazing. Today's Saints Now is sponsored by Established Titles. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, 1 tree planted, and trees for the future to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profiles, and etc. It makes a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you guys want to become a Lord or a Lady, we can build our own little Who Dat Nation in Saints Now Kingdom in Edelston, Scotland. It makes for an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is running a massive early Black Friday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use code CHAT, you can get an additional 10% off. So go to chatsports.com/established Go to establishedtitles.com/chat to get your gifts now and help support the channel. And it's a great way to give back to the environment. It's a great way to have a fun little gag gift. I know I'm getting my dad one of these for Christmas, so I hope you're not watching, Pops, but go check them out, lock them in, establishedtitles.com/chat, and use promo code CHAT to get an extra 10% off. But I got to break down my boy, Chris Olave. Is Chris Olave going to win Rookie of the Year? I mean, the Saints are so bad. The offense is so bad. But we got a bright side. We have Chris Olave. And ESPN, they released an article today, actually, laying out that the top 10 rookies from the 2022 season so far. And here is what that list looked like. Number 1, I'm not honestly surprised about this. Sauce Gardner the dude's a freak. He is so freaking good at football. I can see why the Jets were high on taking him. Chris Olave, our boy at number 2. Damian Pierce at number 3. He's been lighting it up. Kenneth Walker at number 4. He's been lighting it up. Tariq Woolen's been looking great. Garrett Wilson, wide receiver for the Jets. So, the Jets' first-round picks hitting really, really well, and it shows in their record, shows in how they're playing. Jack Jones at number 7, the second overall pick, Aiden Hutchinson at number 8, number 9, Tyler Linderbaum, center for the Ravens, and number 10, the guy who is unfortunate enough to be stuck in Atlanta for the next couple of years, Drake London, and notably enough, Nakobe Dean is not on this list. He was just left outside of it, but you want to know why he might have been left outside? Is because Chris Olave has been lighting it up. He's had 43 receptions, 618 yards, 14.4 average in 2 touchdowns. And let's not forget, he also did this with missing some time due to a concussion. And I have to get you guys' gauge on this because I've been so pleased and so excited with what Chris Olave has done for the Saints offense. You guys got to let me know. Is Chris Olave going to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year? Because I sure as hell think he is. He's on track to set so many rookie receiving yards. He's on track, rookie receiving records. He's on track to just have a phenomenal season with the Saints. And this is all despite having terrible quarterback play. And I want to get into what ESPN had to say about Chris Olave. So here's what they said. He's smooth in the route tree and showcasing the vertical stretch ability to float past defenders. Olave is impressed as a perimeter target early in his NFL career. The rookie has already logged 7 explosive play receptions this season, and his ability to separate opens up opportunities at the second level of the field. And guys, could you imagine if Chris Olave had consistently good quarterback play from either Jameis Winston or Andy Dalton? Because obviously he would be doing so much better than just his 618 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's had so many touchdowns that got just overthrown or just back. I don't even want to sit here and speculate on the stats he could have, but I'm just here's what ESPN had to say on the upside and what he's going to bring to the future of the Saints offense. He says, despite the Saints' inconsistencies at quarterback, Olave has quickly turned into the team's top pass catcher and leads all rookies with 14.9 air yards per target, with Michael Thomas having a toe injury and Jarvis Landry with his ankle injury. Battling injuries, expect the rookie to continue to play a big role. And that you should. I mean, look at this wide receiver depth chart. It's banged up. It's banged up real bad. Michael Thomas is on IR. He's likely not playing the rest of the season. Chris Olave, dog. Marquez Callaway, he's starting to get it together. Jarvis Landry, there's not really a ton of updates on him. He's started getting very limited reps in practice. We maybe get to see him this week against the Steelers. Would love to see him. Rashid Shaheed, I have the need for Shaheed. You guys know that. I love Rashid Shaheed. He's a freaking beast. He's a freaking animal. I absolutely love what I've seen from him. And Traquan Smith has even started kind of filling in for a little bit pretty well for the Saints and not playing terribly despite having some injury issues this year. And I just want to wrap this conversation up by saying this. Please, 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 whether it's Mickey Loomis, Dennis Allen, whoever it is, please, please, please don't waste Chris Olave's talents. Don't let him just get out of here. Don't let him just be a great receiver this year, have no plan at quarterback for the next few years, trade him away. No. Chris Olave is the future of this offense. I'm a very firm believer in that, and I very much so expect him to be a large part of the offense moving forward, and I want to see more and more out of him. But I need you guys to show the kid some love. Show the rookie some love. Type 12 down in the comments for me. Show him some love. Whoever's going to type it the most is going to get a shout-out on the next video. Y'all know how Y'all know how it goes here whenever I'm running the show. Whenever I'm running the ship, we give out shout-outs, and I would be absolutely remiss if I did not give a shout-out to our watch party MVP, Lil Laganovich. Laganovich. I don't know, man. You tried to explain it to me multiple times. I couldn't get it. But Lil, my guy. I mean, Homeboy sent in over $200 in super chats for our Monday Night Football watch party. It was an absolute freaking great time. He was leading the tailgate. He was having a great time. Love seeing him out there. Would love to see him out in some of the comments. Guys, if you guys want to be the next MVP, if you guys want to be, the next shout-out, go type 12 as many times as you can down in the comments. Shout out Lil, Who Dat Nation. Y'all stay golden.